Well, hello everyone. We are interviewing Sheri Ruth today. It is September 29th at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And today here we've got from the committee, we have myself, JC Hendricks, and we have Rebecca McKeever and Kimberly Butler. So, Sheri, we're just going to ask you a couple questions that the members have submitted to us to get to know you a little bit better and all that lovely stuff. So I guess we'll just kind of dive right in. And Kim, would you like to ask the first question?
Sure. Hey, Sheri, how are you?
I'm fine.
All right. First question is, are you willing to serve in any position that you're needed if you're elected to the board?
As long as somebody makes sure I know what I'm doing.
So that's a yes?
That's an absolute yes.
Okay.
Awesome. All right, Rebecca, would you like to ask the next question?
Sure. Sheri, what is your skill set? When it comes to the IDHA, where would your skill set be best put to use?
My skills would probably be in communication with members, being able to talk with them, explain to them what our association is all about, helping people and encouraging people at the same time to actually register and get their horses registered so they can understand what the drum horse is trying to do and where it's going to and what we're working at. And so they know that there's a future, not that we're just sitting in a boat floating in the middle of nothing. I just know there's such a huge future, and it's right at our grasp. It's right around the corner. And thanks to all of you that have worked so hard on starting this and doing all the work that you've done. You've just set a good pattern for us to continue on and get more encouragement from other people and what they would like to do.
Thank you.
Awesome. Cool. Going a little bit on your skill set and how you want to help and stuff like that. Do you feel like you're a self-starter, or do you find that you require more of a direction?
I am totally a self-starter, and I would not be where I am now if I weren't a self-starter. So I've worked very hard my whole life. Back when my younger years, I managed over 70 women in a cosmetic company, not Mary Kay. It was something else, but it was on the East Bay. And I've also, oh gosh, then I just had to restart over. My husband has moved me many times, and I had to restart careers all over the place. So I have no problem. I just, and just the fact of being around the horses, I really love this as a niche because I've done all kinds of other things, but I accidentally came upon this, and I just absolutely love it. I am just so motivated for it.
Wonderful. Kim, your turn.
Okay. Sheri, I'd love to hear some ideas on how you would increase public knowledge about the drum horse, and how you'd promote the drum horse, a general public knowledge of the breed. What you got?
There's many ways. We should have somebody probably doing most of the internet work and advertising that way. My thing, I'm better in person. And what I personally, it wasn't until this past year that I actually had an IDHA member and meet them personally, when I had been all these years trying to show the drum horses at an expo. And I think I'm located in a really great area, and I'm also in a good spot where I can travel all over. And my big thing is in November, I really want to be out there for the expo. I don't think I can trail horses over the Poconos because it's very treacherous that time of year. But I would definitely want personally to be there. I have family on the East Coast. I have friends in Canada. I have people I know all the way out to the West Coast. And I would just I I think people are not going to hear it and see it unless they see a person from the organization itself. They can hear about people, they can see the courses and all this kind of stuff, but you need someone who can take the time and actually explain about the association, what it's trying to do, and where our future is going to.
Okay, thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you, Rebecca.
So do you feel that you're a team player?
I have been on, yes, I'm a team player. I work with other people. I don't like using the I word, although I'm using it a lot tonight. But I really don't like using that word. There is no I in team. The fact that like I told you before, managing all those women, and then I've been in, I've had my own salon, and I've had to manage people in my own salon, work with people continually. I love people, and there's no one that does not have something to offer somewhere. So I also have taken many classes in when people are disagreeing, how to monitor and how to work them together and get them to talk together and figure it out. I've taken many classes on that, and I've done that through my church, where, believe me, churches have a lot of that. so as far as I've always been the one that people come to try to figure out different disputes and different discussions that they have going on.
Excellent. So that's like conflict resolution skills?
Absolutely. I didn't know if you would understand that. So yes, that's exactly.
I was trying to think of the word too. I couldn't remember, but I knew what you were talking
about. It is. It's complex resolution skills. Yes.
Yeah. Degree in education sometimes comes in handy.
Good. Mine was in criminal justice. I also was a probation officer. So.
Oh Lord.
So I had to take a lot of classes.
That's interesting.
I'm so glad I'm not doing that anymore.
Well, I'm just going to follow up a little bit because I'm interested. So, is there anything else about your background, your background skills that lends itself to, to working with people? So far we've got criminal justice, and you have such a wide variety of skills.
Mm-hmm. My major in college was opera, and I sang in New York, and I sang in several places. And then my backup, when I fell in love and had one that was going to be an engineer, and he's not going to follow me. So that's when I picked up, I took a minor in criminal justice, and that's where I got the probation work that I needed to. But the first place we were at, everything is criminal justice. People are, the probation officers have to be assigned by the judge. So it's kind of a political voting kind of thing. It's not, you don't just apply and get in. So with us moving every 4 to 5 years, I just couldn't do it anymore. And that's when I decided to pick up the cosmetology work and do that. And I trained all the way down to Philadelphia and back up to Boston. I had that whole area. And I worked, like I said, I had 70 women that worked in different stores that I trained, taught, and handled. And let's see what else I've done. So then when he moved me another time, I decided to open my own store. So I opened my own place in Carytown, Ann Arbor. And if anybody knows Ann Arbor, Michigan, they'll know that Carytown is quite it's kind of an artisan, it's like an artisan kind of a place to be. And my business did real well. I sold it, got a lot of money, did great. So we had extra money to move when we moved again. And I decided when I moved again, I really just, I was, at that point, I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. And when they diagnosed me with the multiple sclerosis, I really got concerned and did not want to be in charge of anything. So I worked for other people, but was able to do well. And then through multiple sclerosis and through the Multiple Sclerosis Society, I actually talked to and newly diagnosed women call me for encouragement and things that they can do and that kind of stuff. So, and I think that's about all my. And my horse business, I grew up on a farm every summer. So that's how I know the horses from the get-go. I've always dealt with draft horses. And then I moved on to, I got myself a nice little POH that I love. And, you know, unfortunately, they can only live so long. So then I got into the drum horses kind of by accident. And I started reading up on them, and I just adore their personality because I love I love the Gypsy Vanner, but they're not big enough. They were just too tiny, and my husband can't ride something that little. You know, he's 6'3". What's he gonna be on? So that's when I got into the drum horses, and I just I've been a horsewoman ever since. Ever since I retired, I went back into horses.
Fantastic. So you have a business background too. So that's great.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Wonderful. You actually asked one of the questions that I was kind of curious about what you kind of were doing now. But so you're basically retired right now and just running the drum horses, or are you doing other stuff as well?
I do. I do work. I don't work full time. I only work in the winter time because I'm really afraid of having my brain go stagnant. So, so I do payroll for a local company that owns several ski mountains in the area. So we have a ski mountain in Canada, we have a couple in Wisconsin, and we have 2 in Michigan. So I do their payroll for them.
Wonderful.
So I can do books.
Yeah. You can do books. Awesome. That kind of covers your full-time or part-time job and your occupation.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, it's really nice because it's only winter, and who wants, you know, I can't be outside or anything in the winter, so why not?
Yep. Yeah, that's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Kim.
Okay. Let's see. Sheri, how much time do you think you'd be able to commit to working on different projects and working with the IDHA board? Because you said, you work in the winter and you do kind of a bunch of different things. What kind of time would you be able to commit to doing stuff for the board?
Well, my job at the mountain is only on Mondays. Monday is out. Monday's always out for anything. After that, I have the other 6 days a week that, you know, it's a matter with me. Other than my pool playing, I do like to play pool a lot. But that's in the evenings. So
you think like a couple hours a week, a few hours a month? What's your thoughts?
Oh my gosh, I could probably put easily 5 or more hours, 4 days a week.
Okay.
So would you be able to put pool aside one evening a month for board meetings?
Oh, absolutely.
Sheri's like, nope, that's a deal breaker. Nope.
No, can't do it. Unless it's on a pool night. No, I have subs.
Wonderful answers.
Yeah. I like your sense of humor.
Rebecca.
Oh, wait until you see the little thing I put together.
Okay.
My husband goes, "Are you serious?" I said, "Well, yeah." This is to have fun. Being in this group and doing this stuff and everything is not to be miserable and feel like you're being burdened on and doldrums. It is to have fun and to enjoy it and to look towards the future and leaving something. You know, if we aren't willing to put time to leave something for the future, what are we on this earth for?
I'm not going to argue there.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, Rebecca, if you want to ask the next question.
Sure. I'll ask Natalie's favorite question. So, are you prepared for criticism, and are you able to learn from it in a positive manner?
That's a funny question you asked that. If anybody's trying to criticize me, they better kind of knock me in the head and make sure I understand they're criticizing me. I am one of these kind of people that I don't take anything as bad. Anybody's coming on with me anything bad, I won't know it. If somebody's trying to insult me, I won't know. So no, I get right along. I take it to heart and I go, okay, what do I need to do? How do we need to do this? And this is what I feel is a very important part of being a member of one of these things, is doing this. Because there's a lot of different personalities, a lot of different thinking going on out there. And that's where I think a lot of my studies that I've taken and my certifications and helping with, discussions and whatnot. And if somebody has something with me, I am not a defensive person. I will not jump back at them, anything. I usually go, can you give me a little time to absorb that? And then I'll come back with them and I say, okay, I will then write down on a sheet of paper my questions as to what, if I don't quite understand. Then I go back to them, I said, and then I'll ask these questions. Did you mean this about that? How did you mean that? And I'm very good at doing step-by-step, going through whatever it is that I need to change.
Great, thank you.
That's a wonderful answer.
Yes, absolutely.
Cool. Sheri, so we've heard a lot about your past and your job and even a couple little bits about showing and stuff like that, but could you tell, so obviously you have a drum horse, obviously. Could you tell us a little bit about your horses and how you're invested in the drum breed?
All right. I saw a horse at a person's farm that they had brought in from a rescue, and I fell in love with her immediately. And I brought her home and I started looking at her and I started looking up trying to figure out what she was. And come to find out, she was a drum horse. And I immediately sent in to get her, registered and all that kind of stuff. Then next thing I know, I don't know, some of you may know Sue Leopold. Don't know if you know her or not.
Yes.
Sue knew she was dying. And so she went and set me out her gelding that she had. And he's our poster child. He's 18 hands of duh. And he's just, there's not a soul he doesn't love. He's just one of those guys that'll just go la-di-da to anybody and do whatever. And I just have loved him. The only problem, I used to take him down to the expo down in Columbus, but their stalls are too small. He's just so big. He was just so uncomfortable. I just felt so horrible for him. He did everything beautifully and to perfection. Whatever we wanted him to do, he did it. But I just started feeling guilty that I wasn't giving him proper care down there. And I just recently got a new trailer that's 8 by 8. It's 8 feet tall and 8 feet wide. And it's a Cherokee. They don't make them anymore, but it is a fantastic trailer. And he just jumps right in there like, oh, I'm in my little palace here. So he loves that. I'm so glad that he's happy going in there. And then my third one I purchased from Nancy Graham. I saw this horse online and there's something about her. And I asked Nancy questions about her and all this kind of stuff. I call her Rimby. Her real name is Black Orchid Sally Brown. Well, I don't like the name Sally, but that's a long story. I won't tell you why. But anyway, I just wanted to change it. So I wanted her name to be something to do with the drums. So I call her Rimby from marimba. So her full farm name is Marimba. So we call her Rimby. And I am just starting to line drive her now and getting her ready. She is the smartest, most willing, wonderful horse I've ever had. My husband even is in love with her dearly. And so that's how my 3 horses. And up until Rimby, they were just kind of accidental hits on me.
You took Rimby to the expo. You took Rimby and
I was really afraid because I'd never taken her to that much of a crowd. She's only 3. So I hadn't taken her to that much of a crowd back then. And I was like, oh, I was worried. Wow, how's she going to respond? Is she going to react? And I told everybody, I'm not so sure we're going to put her in the demo stall because I don't know what she's going to do. She was a pro. There was no problem. She was like, I'm okay. And I was really amazed because I'm extremely protective of my horses. So
they're smart.
They are very smart. And they're very trying to think of the word, accommodating. They're a very accommodating horse. They don't fight you on a lot of things.
Wonderful. Yeah, it's great to hear about your horses and learn more about them. So, Kim, would you be able to ask the next question?
Sure. Looks like we covered most of them. Let's see. All right, Sheri, as a potential candidate for the IDHA board, do you feel that as a board member, you should be required to attend a minimum of 2 IDHA sponsored shows per year out of pocket to help promote the breed?
With a horse or without a horse?
With a horse.
With a horse. At least 2 IDHA
shows per year.
Yeah, just remember
I can understand you wanting that. And the problem I have is being up here, it's very hard to find more than one. It's like, well, we have the expo that I can go to. We have the, and then we have the Centerville one that I go to. I did just recently take my girl. I found a new group, but it's not IDH sanctioned. And I was going to kind of ask you guys to help with it, because it's just to at least recognize the points from it, because it's really kind of a smaller group, and they do minis and they do drafts, and it's a wonderful facility that I went down to. It's just northern Ohio, and did all that, and I love it. I mean, yes, if I am required, I will try to find one somewhere. I have gone down to the Indiana one, but I don't really like how that's run. I think they put people in a dangerous situation sometimes. And I think it's very disorganized, and it's just one of those shows I have a hard time going to. I went to it 3 times. I took Skylar when I first got her. That was her first show, was down there. And then I went for a couple more years, and I took my gypsies as well as my drums down there. And it was, the IDHA has their specific requirements for a horse to be a drum horse. And I have a problem when I get in an arena and I've got one that's part Frisian and it's trying to kill every other horse that comes near it. That's just my feeling. I just can't tolerate that, because if this is IDHA sanctioned, I'm having a problem with that. Especially when I start seeing other people and I get talking to them, they have no idea what an F1, F2, F3, none of that. They have no idea what that is, but they're calling the horses drum horses.
Well, interesting. But there shows that they should, just popping in here, they shouldn't be at an IDHA sanctioned show in a drum class if they're, anyway, we can talk more about that later.
Yes. Thank you for that. Thank you for that.
Interesting.
So that's my point, because you can be in an open class, be in any open class you want.
Right.
Because there's many shows I go in an open class, but
unless we know stuff like that, there's no way we can fix stuff like that. But
that's my point.
That's a great point. But we need to know stuff like that so we can fix stuff like that. That shows that are sanctioned. That's the reason why we sanction them, so that kind of stuff doesn't happen. But to your other question, open shows, you can go to any show and we accept the points from any show.
Okay, because that's what I do. Yeah, I go to actually I got because I did the most exhibited shows. I got High Point in that.
Yes.
So I don't have any problem. I think it's a very smart idea for you to put that requirement. Like I said, I've been on a lot of committees in my church, and you're required to go to church, and it's like, why are you on a committee when you don't even show up at church? How do you know what the church is doing? How do you know what the people are doing? How do you know what they're doing? How are they feeling? What are they going on? And that's, like I say, if I had not gone down to the Indiana show, I would have never known that thing was going on. And so I try to reach out to as many people as I can when they do go to show. How did you like it? What happened? How to go? And that sort of thing. So,
was that the Heartland Classic? Which show was that?
Yes, that was the Heartland Classic.
That is not an IDHA show. That was a GCDHA show, and IDHA was not invited there, though.
Oh, well, GVHA, they had a sign up there saying the IDHA points.
Yeah, well, they might have, but we were not invited.
You weren't there.
We weren't there. But and so that would make more sense, because that's a GCDHA show. Yeah, because I was really shocked, because I'm like, seriously, I couldn't believe that the IDHA would be doing that. Yeah. Okay. So, well, that's solved.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay.
All right, Rebecca, your turn.
Oh, okay, my turn. All right, I got so have you worked, well, I guess because you were in a church group, you probably have, but have you worked with groups on projects in the past? And then if so, please share past group projects. And then
Yes.
you're working on that team setting.
Yes. Yes, I've worked on, well, the first team setting was my first job when I had all those women. That was a team setting. We had to have meetings and we had to, I actually had to put up, go to hotels and have a big room and everything where we all, got together and had meetings to know what everybody's doing. You have to have those kind of things or you're going to lose touch of everybody. And as soon as you lose touch of everybody, that's when the rumors start flying and the gossip starts going and all that kind of stuff. I have worked, and the same thing in church, same thing with that. I've worked on our worship committee meeting. I've worked on the SPRC, which is actually approving budgets. I was on the meeting for that to approve budgets and whatnot. I was on the trustee board for our church. And that was working on projects. We'd have separate projects like getting together to get the roof done, getting together to get the signs put up, getting together to put the pavement in and whatnot. And the latest thing we kind of had decided on is with the whole thing with everybody panicking about the illegal immigrants, our hometown just happens to have quite a few illegal immigrants in there. We know they're there. And I worked my way into getting into this one local junkyard. So I could talk to these people, and I had to take a friend with me who spoke Spanish because I wasn't very good. But we worked on trying to help them to become legal and what they needed to do and what needed to happen to help them get there, because many of them don't even know. So those are the main kind of groups I've worked on. I deal with I have youth at my farm that actually, in exchange for board, they work. So I have to deal with them all the time. I'll tell you, if somebody can deal with them, you can deal with anything. These are teenage girls. Yeah. So I think that's about all I can tell you as far as groups. I mean, I've done a garden club. I've been in a garden club. I've been in a lot of different clubs in the different places we've lived. So.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Wonderful. Earlier at the beginning, we kind of asked you if you were willing to serve whatever position, but is there a position you feel that you're best suited to give your skill sets the most ability to shine?
I think my best ability be with communicating and speaking with people who are going to be new members. I have a little thing in my mind that I would love to present before people if they think it would be a good idea for new members, something to make new members feel a little more welcome and a little more part of us. Because I feel like, you guys have been wonderful. I got to know Janelle really well, and Rebecca gave me all kinds of information and helped me when I first got started. But I still felt alone, particularly being in Michigan, and there weren't very many of us with drum horses up here. And I just feel there could be more of a quote, not necessarily this, but a welcome kind of package, just to, even if it means if you're going to be close by somewhere, promoting IDHA somewhere and whatnot, giving a personal letter to the new members and saying, here, come meet me, come talk to me, come see me, come to the show, come show your horse. I think a lot of people are breeding these horses and they're not really feeling welcome at shows because nobody knows what their horse is. But I'd like to reassure them that doesn't matter. I mean, most of these shows, they don't, as other than your showmanship classes and your halter classes, after that, it's open and it's how you do your business. So, but I think I'm trying in a roundabout way without saying, because I feel I have more humility to say what I want to be, but since you asked, I'll tell you, I think president. I think I could do the getting people in and getting them. I have computer skills. I live on the computer every Monday. I can do computer from any direction, any place. I can take it with me. I think I'm thinking from what I read, everything that I read, there was a couple of spots but I think there's other people that I know would be better in some of those other spots than I am. I mean, I could do it, but getting people registered and welcoming new people in and spreading the word, going around visiting places and passing on the word. That's where I think my forte is.
Wonderful. Honesty is a huge part of it, and then saying that you feel most comfortable as being president, that's good honesty. So thank you.
Okay.
Kim.
Okay.
Could you ask? Do you have any more questions?
Not that I can think of. The only other one that I'm seeing is, excuse me, being a possible new member of the board of directors. How do you plan to make this great association even better in the future, especially in the next 5 years? So thinking ahead.
I think I would work on someone who's very good at marketing and who would do a lot of the internet marketing and getting us out on Facebook more. We're on Facebook, but we're kind of like our own private little group. We're not on there as a business. We have our own website, but we don't necessarily, like I have my farm on Facebook as well as my personal self. I actually have 2 personal ones. One's for family, one's for, my pool people and joking around. But I just feel we need to be more visible. So my goal would be work on visibility. My other goal would be to encouraging people more to start breeding more F2s and F3s. And well, let's get to the finish line, because in the next 5 years, my vision is that we will no longer be a type, but we will be going in to be a breed.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Rebecca, do you have any more questions?
No, I think you covered pretty much everything on our list.
Yeah, I think so too.
Do you have anything?
Yeah, is there anything else you want to add for anything that we haven't covered that you feel is important for members to know about you or your horses or your anything related that members you want to share with?
I'd like to share a little bit of my personality, and that is I'm a very welcoming, actually my spiritual gift is hospitality. So I'm very good at welcoming people and bringing them in, making them feel comfortable, and making them feel comfortable around their horses when we're at shows. And I think that has a big asset as far as to getting people to want to join an organization. And I would just, I just don't take things hard. I'm like a duck. The water rolls off my back, and it just, I don't, I'm not going to be one that's going to be up for 4 nights because somebody said some word I didn't like. I'm not that kind of person. I'm very open-minded, and I've learned to love people as they are and where you meet them. So I guess that's about it for me.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Sheri, for joining us tonight to share with the members who you are and what you do.
Well,
good luck.
Thanks to all of you so much for doing this and allowing me to do this.
Thank you, Sheri.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks. Love you all.
Bye.
All right. Bye.